Hello students, I am Sanjay Misra, present again with a new video on matrices. This video will make you understand the properties of adjoint. We'll discuss these properties in detail and they will be very useful to attempt the questions of board examination as well as G mains and G advanced. So you have to keep in your memory all these properties. So I will take one by one. So, okay. Now, before I discuss the property, I have to explain one very basic thing, that suppose there is one determinant A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. Suppose this is a determinant of order 3. Okay. And if Aij represents cofactor of Aij, then if elements are multiplied by their cofactors, suppose A11 is multiplied by its cofactor, that's capital A11. Similarly, I am taking the first row element. So the first two elements are A11, A12 and A13. Now if each one is multiplied by its cofactor and this product is added, then we know that this is the value of the determinant. Okay. So it is applicable for all the elements of a particular row and column. Suppose I go with first column elements, then A11 should be multiplied by capital A11 plus A2 small a21 should be multiplied by capital A21, A31 multiplied by capital A31. So that will also give you the same result, which is determinant A. Now what will happen if we multiply the element by the cofactor of some other row? Suppose I am taking the elements of first row and multiplying these elements by the cofactor of second row. A21, A12 multiplied with A22. Okay, A13 is multiplied by capital A13. Capital A23. So what will be this result? This will be 0. Okay, similarly others. If I replace A21, A22, A23 by capital A31, A32, A33, then also will get the same result, that is 0. So this will be the basic of our discussion when we go with the first property. So you have to remember these two results. Then I will discuss the first property of adjoint of a matrix. Well, so this is the first property, property number 1. According to this property, suppose A is any matrix of order n, then if we multiply A with its adjoint either in this way or in this way, this product is commutative. The result is determinant A times matrix I, where I is the unit matrix of the same order as that of A. Since A is of order n, so this is also unit matrix of order n. Now to prove this result, I have taken a matrix of order 3. Okay. Let us see how can we get this result when we go with this type of matrix. So I have taken first the matrix. Suppose this is the matrix. Okay, we can name it as A. So A is this, and they are the cofactors written inside. And if I replace each element by its cofactor and take the transpose, then this is called adjoint. So A has been multiplied with its adjoint. That's why the cofactors of these elements are written along column 1. Cofactor of A11 is here, cofactor of A12 is here, cofactor of A13 is here. Similarly, the cofactor of these elements have gone in second column. Cofactors of third row elements have gone in third column because we have taken the transpose. Okay. Now, if we multiply by matrix multiplication, we get this result. Okay. This multiplied with this multiplied with this. So this is the result when this is multiplied with this one, and this is multiplied by column number 2, we get this. The first row is multiplied with column number 3, we get this, and similarly others. Now, what we find here, that this is the important step. This is a column, okay, first column. So, in these elements we find that each element has been multiplied by its cofactor A11, A11, A12, capital A12, A13, capital A13. So, this is the value of the determinant. I have just explained that when each element is multiplied by its cofactor and when the things are added, then we get the value of the determinant. Now what we find here, the elements are of first row, but the cofactors are of second column. Okay, A21, A22, A23. So this result will be 0. Okay, according that also I have discussed. So this is 0. Similarly here the elements are elements belong to first row, but the cofactors belong to third column. So this product will be also 0. Similarly here this is 0. Again we find that A21, these two are matching, 21, 21, 22, 22, 23, 23. So this is going to be the determinant, and as above this will be 0. Similarly here also the cofactors not matching with the element. A31 has been multiplied with A11, means this row has been multiplied by this column. So row number is 3, column number is 1. That's why the value is 0. This value is also 0, and this is again determinante because these things are matching here, you can see. So A31 stands for cofactor of A31 and similarly others. So this result is a matrix, not determinant. Okay. So this is the result of this multiplication, and we will get the same result when we multiply in reverse order. Okay, that will also gives us the same result. Adjoint A multiplied by A will also give you this result. Okay, so if we take because determinant is the common element, so this can be taken out, and what is left here, 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Okay, this is determinant A which has been taken common. So we get the right hand side. This stands for I3, means unit matrix of order 3. Why so? Because we have taken the given matrix as of order 3, that's why we have got the unit matrix of order 3. So this has proved the result. This has proved the result that we have proved that when a matrix is multiplied with its adjoint, and if this multiplication is done in reverse order, then this is the result. Now this is property number 2, which says that if A is a non-singular square matrix of order n, then determinant of its adjoint is determinant A to the power n minus 1, where n is the order of the matrix. Okay, so the proof is very simple. It is based on the previous theorem. We know that this is the result of the previous theorem. When a matrix is multiplied by its adjoint, we get determinant A times unit matrix of the same order. Now what I have done, going with this result, I have taken determinant both sides. Determinant. Okay. So there is one property that determinant of AB is determinant A into determinant B. Okay. So if I take the determinant of this product, it should be written separately, determinant A into determinant of adjoint A. They are two different matrices. And here, this expression, it stands for a unit matrix multiplied by determinant A, and the order of this unit matrix is n. So suppose this is the unit matrix with n rows and n columns, order n by n. Then when it is multiplied by determinant A, so all its elements will be multiplied by determinant A. Now we are taking the determinant of this matrix. Determinant A into In is a matrix, and we are taking determinant. So determinant means we have to take determinant A common from each row or each column. So that will come n times, because in every row one determinant A is present. So we have taken determinant A common n times. That's why the result is determinant A to the power n. Now here also we find one determinant A. So both are real numbers, so they can be divided, and this is the result. But here we have to assume that determinant A should not be equal to 0. Okay. So this is the proof. Determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant A to the power n minus 1. And you have to remember this result. Now I have taken one question which will use our previous previous property. Here it is given that A is a square matrix of order 3. Okay, the value of n is 3, and the value of its determinant is 10. Then what is the value of the determinant adjoint A? Okay. So without knowing the nature of adjoint A, we can find out its determinant by that formula, which says that determinant of adjoint of A is determinant A to the power n minus 1, and n stands for 3 here because this stands for order. So it is determinant A, we have to write 10 here, the base, and the power will be 3 minus 1. This stands for order. So finally, this is the result. Well, this is the next property, property number 3. Here it is, we have to show that if A is a matrix of order n such that determinant is not 0, then adjoint of A will be determinant A to the power n minus 2 into A, where A is the given matrix. Okay, now we'll be using the previous results, in which we find that if a matrix is here adjoint A, if a matrix is multiplied by its adjoint, okay, matrix stands for adjoint A, then what happens? The result is determinant of the matrix into unit matrix, where the unit matrix has the same order as that of the given matrix. That's why the order of I is n, and we have also seen that the determinant of adjoint of a matrix A is given by determinant A to the power n minus 1, that is property number 2. Okay. So when we multiply these two matrices, the result is this one. Now what I am doing here, now I am multiplying both sides by matrix A. You find matrix A here and matrix A here, because when matrix is multiplied with a scalar can be written in the first place, and matrix has gone here. So this result we are multiplying by A, both sides. A is the given matrix. Then this result, according to property number 1, this stands for determinant A into unit matrix, and this matrix is here. And when a unit matrix is multiplied by any matrix, the result is the matrix itself. That's why I have written A there. And here also we find the same thing. Unit matrix has been multiplied. First I have shifted determinant A this side. Okay, that's why the power of determinant A has gone to n minus 2. This determinant has come here, n minus 2. Conditions given there that determinant is not equal to 0. Now we are multiplying a matrix by unit matrix, that's why the result is matrix itself. So finally we get only this matrix and this is equal to this one. So this is what we have to do. Now this is the next one, property number 4. It is very important for your preparation for G Mains and G Advanced. That determinant of adjoint A is determinant a to the power n minus 1 whole square. Okay. Now I go with the result of property number 3, in which we have proved that adjoint of A is determinant a to the power n minus 2 into matrix A. This is matrix A. Now I am taking determinant both sides. When two matrices are equal, their determinants are also equal. Okay. Now what we find here, that a matrix has been multiplied by this element. So this element is present in each row or in each column. Okay. So when we take the determinant, we will be taking determinant A to the power n minus 2 common n times, because it is present in each row, suppose. So it will come out how many times? N times. That's why the power will be this, because I write it here. This will be multiplied by n minus 2 n times, because from each row or from each column this expression is coming out, and then determinant of matrix A. So when this is multiplied n times, so the power will become determinant A to the power n into n minus 2. Suppose we multiply A 10 times, so it will be A to the power 10. Similarly, this expression has been multiplied by n times, so this power has come here, and this is the determinant A. Now one power of determinant A is also there, so when they are added together, so this becomes n square minus 2n plus 1 law of exponent, and then this is n minus 1 whole square. So again you have to remember this formula also, very useful. Now I have taken just two questions here which have been asked in board examination and G Mains. The first one is, you are given with a square matrix of order 3, says that its determinant is 2 and the determinant is not equal to 0, that is 2. Then you have to find this and this, adjoint of adjoint A and adjoint determinant of this matrix. Okay. So by the previous result, adjoint of adjoint A will be determinant A to the power n minus 1, n stands for 3, so it will be 3 minus 1, so that will be 2A, because this is a matrix. Now when we go for its determinant, then we have to apply the last result. It says that determinant of this matrix will be determinant A to the power n minus 1 whole square. Now determinant A is given as 2, so that I have written here, and n stands for 3, so 3 minus 1, 2, whole square is 4, so value is 16. Now this is another question in which you are given with one matrix and you have to find the determinant of adjoint A. And if you don't know the formula, see how much difficult is the question, because first we have to find adjoint A, then again adjoint of that matrix, then we have to find its determinant. So we have the advantage of using theorem here. First we will find out determinant of this matrix, which is minus 7. Yeah, I have already calculated it. This is minus 7. Now we are going straight away for this, okay, this value. So this stands for determinant A to the power n minus 1 whole square. Determinant A should be written here. Power is n minus 1 whole square. So for determinant A, I have written minus 7, and n stands for 3. So it is 3 minus 1 whole square. And finally minus 7 to the power 4. The answer is 2401. Okay. Well students, this is the end of this video in which I have discussed all the properties of adjoint. They are very important properties, very useful for using big questions. Okay, they are the shortcuts, so you must learn them and keep in your memory. And similarly, I will come with some more videos on matrices. Till that time, you must wait. and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.